Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to continue on this 24 volt or excavator, towable, backhoe, trencher. I don't even know what they call them anymore. Anyway, this one's a little different. This one's made by a company. It was only made in '75 for about 5 years. It was actually made in the UK and then in Canada, then back to the UK. This is actually called a Cricket Toho. I think it's the same as a Muscle Man, in UK or something like that. But anyway, in the last video, if you remember, we actually changed the battery. We changed this from a gasoline motor, not that. We changed this to a gasoline motor, from a gasoline motor to batteries. Now the other thing I made too, and I didn't really show them in that video, was I made these like black ABS covers that I was just gonna like throw on. I think this one's for this side. I was gonna drill the bolt holes out, maybe mount them on there, maybe just Velcro them something. Oh, that's not the right one. This one's the right one. Everything's just dropping out of my hands. Don't mind me. What I do is drop everything. Yeah. Anyway, this is the one for this side, and I guess I'd have to just either put a little notch in or something, or even just make it somehow so it sits there, maybe flush. I can maybe cut it out around the bolt or something and then just Velcro it. It was just something I was thinking of doing. I don't even know if it's really needed, just to keep some of the dirt out. I had an extra piece, that was the one I had before. But this video I really want to get done. I want to concentrate on trying to do this cylinder in the front, the hydraulic cylinder. Now I don't know how well this is going to work out for me. I've never really attempted hydraulics before, so this is all new to me. But this one is the one that's leaking a little bit. So, and you're gonna wonder why I didn't just get a kit and repair it. Well, there was two reasons. One reason was that they wanted close to $200 to $300 to repair this cylinder, which I don't understand why. But that was the first reason. When I could buy a brand new one for $124, and the second reason was this only has a 1-inch rod. The one I picked up was a 1.5-inch rod, so it's just a little bit stronger. It'll just work a little better. I mean, I could probably even go bigger, but I'm not worried about all that. The price was right, $124 plus tax, of course. The crazy thing was the fittings. I had a hard time getting the fittings, and what I figured out was that my fittings, now there's a couple problems too. One is I'm going to have to make some spacers, because the distance in between here and the distance on the top one is going to be a problem for me. So I'm going to have to make up some kind of spacers or something to fill in the gap or the space to make it tight. So I have a piece on my lathe right now that I started turning down, but I didn't want to. I think I turned it down to I think it's like 0.9 inches. I think it's got to be 1 inch. I'll show you later on the lathe. And I got to turn the outside down to basically whatever I want. I figured I would just match the spacing. It's a nice piece of 4140. I also had to make another pin, or whatever you want to call it, hydraulic pin. I'm not sure, another one of these up in here. This one's bent. But for right now, I had these from something else. These are some pretty heavy spacers. I think they were from like a wheel or something like that. But the material might be really soft. I'm not sure if I really want to use it or not. I'm going to say, and then the other thing was the connectors. Geez. So what I realized is this is a JIC 3/8 is. Let me see if I can put you up here. This way you'll see what I'm talking about. Camera keeps moving on me today. Anyway, let's see if I can zoom in right here. Okay, so these two fittings right here that I have up here are actually JIC, I think it's JIC 1/4 inch is what it is. So what I did was, that's actually this one right here. If you can see it right here. This one I got off of Amazon. The numbers, let me see if I can find the numbers, to be honest with you, because I think I do have, it'll help somebody out. Of course, I don't know how many people have the same unit as this, but all right, so this is a little different. You see the adapter. So basically, I guess I got kind of lucky. It was a JIC 1/4 inch. Again, very hard to read the bag. I don't know if you can read that or not. I'll see if I can try to put a link in the description from my Amazon account. But basically what it was is the new cylinder was a number 6 thread, which is this side. And then I got that to a 3/8 for a 3/8 hose to make the extension, because the new cylinder doesn't have this piece in it. So this is an 18-inch extension, and this is actually, does this tell you? There you go. This one will tell you this is a 3/8 female JIC to a male JIC, 18 inches. So this is just a adapter, a 2-wire. So basically on the one, this will go into one side. Just drop the cap. Keep them dirt free as best I can. So one will go into one side like that, and then on the other side you just have the 3/8 flare, which goes here, and that'll go to my, I'm pretty sure this is a 1/4 inch JIC connector, but up here it says SAE, so I'm not exactly sure the connector. Yeah, which one was it? It was this one. But they're so confusing. But yeah, I think it was one of these. I don't know. It was like a hit or miss, to be honest with you, because I was, again, trying to find pieces, and this one didn't match right, that one didn't match right. So anyway, take this back down. And it's weird because when they sent this, they didn't really put anything on this edge, no cap or nothing, dirt to get in there. But what are you gonna do? I didn't make it. Let's see if I get this piece here. This was actually the bag it came with, the JIC. And I'm going to save all this stuff because, from what I heard, the hydraulic fittings are really tough. The good thing is I got extra ones, and I eventually want to replace all the cylinders. Now this one I do have a kit for. I don't know if it's the right kit or not, but I do have a kit for this one. And the next one would be, this one is leaking a little bit, and then the last one. But for some, now I guess they call that the slew, the left and right. That slew, which is 1 inch, is the same as this cylinder is 1 inch, and then this one is, I think, no, this one is 1 3/8, and then I think this one is 1 1/2. So again, I stepped up to 1 1/2 with this one, and it was, like I said, it was $124 shipped to my door. So, all right, I got one of these little hydraulic fitting kits. One of these little rubber connector things. So let's see if I can try to do this without making too much of a mess. Yeah, here's my, that's the repair kit for the other one. I hope it's right, but you never know with Amazon. It's still hit or miss. And then, of course, I still do have hydraulic fluid. I got to change the fluids and do all that. Just drain it, you know. Everything looked pretty clean. It was just leaking a lot. I think that was the issue with this. All right, let me get I think this one was if I remember correctly, yeah, 15. So there's 15 on this one? Yeah, all right. I'm just going to get them a little loose if I can. Ugh! Loosen it? Yeah, it loosened it. Okay. Same with this one. Ah. That one not so much. There it goes. That one's going to be tough because that one's going to fight. And look at that. All right, there, it's a little loose now. This one's a little bit tighter. All right, I'm going to leave that like that for now. What I want to do is I want to get the... No, I guess I should take it off first and then I'll do the rods. So what I want to do is I want to mark this one so I know which one I'm going with. Not that it really makes a difference, but I'm just going to put a wire tie on this one and then a wire tie on the... Actually, what I may just do is put it right to the hose, I think. Maybe I should just undo it and then just put a cap in here, maybe. Just put a cap in there. Just hook up the hose so I don't get the wrong side. Get something to cut this. So basically this will take up my length. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. That'll fit perfectly. All right. So let's make this easy on myself. I'm going to put a cap on this one here. That fits in there pretty good. Let's get another one for the other adapter. Okay, so we got that. We got that piece. Okay, wait, this has got to go to this one here. Okay. So that's capped there. Oh no, wait, I want to use... Is that the end? No, wait, I'm doing something wrong here. Alright. Alright, this adapter here, if you can see, is going to be that one. So I'll just put a cap on this one. I can. Let's try this yellow one. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do with that one. I'm going to put a cap on that one. Now I know it's probably going to leak a little bit because it's, what was I going to say? It's probably going to leak a little bit. Let's see if I can get you over here a little bit. Move you back there. I can even put the cap back on, put a little piece in there and not put the cap back on. It's just one's, oh, did I just hit you again? I just hit you again, sorry. It's just bad spot. I don't know why it feels like this thing is like cross-threaded on here. Should this be moving it? These hoses are so expensive. Jeez, they're so expensive. Get a rag real quick. So hopefully that one should fit this one. And it does. Yeah, that was cross-threaded. Wow. Okay, look at that. Look at the threads on that. I hope this is going to work out. Looks like that's a little swivel. Alright. I'm going to have to see what the threads look like. I'm going to see if I have a 3/8 and if I can thread that a little better. Man, that's why that was so hard coming off. All right, so where's my other adapter? This would be the other one. And what this should be, make sure I have this one right. This piece should go up the top, right, like that. That's the adapter piece, that'll go on the top there. And I have a plug, but this would be the bottom. Guess I don't really need the plug actually. I can just put this part, probably not seeing it. Let me try this over here. Let me get another one of those yellow ones. Here. And this is of course the end of the cylinder, so that'll make that easy. I'm just going to hand tighten these things for now. I don't think it's going to leak anywhere. Yeah, this one's very easy to move on and off. A little bit of fluid. I'll go over and redo all the connections, but okay, so that's that one that can hang down there without being damaged. Somewhere in there. Okay. So let's see what I can do. I don't know if that's a regular 3/8. Let me see if I can get you in close. You can see that. Alright, that's what it's looking like. See the thread difference? See how these are nice and smooth? These are crushed. That was cross-threaded on there. My question is that going to hold or is that going to leak? And that's this one right here. You can see it's all rusted. It's this one right here. There's really like no threads in there. It's all rusted. That's not good. Well, you know what? I'm gonna buy I'm gonna get a repair kit if I have to. Yeah, it's leaking a little bit. Let me get another wrench. No, I didn't need that cat. That's the good one. That's fine. That's this side. Everything just drops out of my hands. Don't get rheumatoid arthritis. You'll hate it. Terrible disease, like every other one. All right, here's the one that's leaking. And I think that has to be tight, because see how that's swiveling like that? That's not made to swivel like that. It's threading. I'll find out if it loses pressure. Probably hard for you guys to see. Now it got loose. Alright, that's pretty tight right now. Let's see, hopefully that'll stay. We'll find out. I should probably tighten this one too. You know what, I should probably just tighten them while I'm here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Alright. Get another flipping in. You don't need to crush it, just need to make it snug. Nice and snug. Okay. Let's go down to the bottom one and make this one snug. And then I only have to deal with the, just put it back in. Alright, that's pretty tight. Alright. Now the fun part begins. Alright. Now again, I've never really worked with hydraulics before. I guess I should probably cover these up. Let me get, you know, again, everything just dries. Let me get this, alright, here's my battery. I guess if I undo the bottom one, well no, I probably want to undo the top one first to swing it out of the way so I can get the other fluid out. Alright, hopefully this one isn't bent. Let's pray. Alright, she's moving. Come on. Like everything else, nice and tight. You know, do the same thing I did before. I'll clean up the bolt, put a new washer, new lock washer. Yeah, it's all rusted. You can see that. Let's put this over here so we can clean that up later. Let's see if we get something to hit on the other side. There's that blow. Good. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. All right, nice. Oh, that's what I was worried about. Did everybody see that? Nice mess. Okay, let me see if I can try to grab these out of here without letting this thing fall down again. Oh, yep, there it goes. Oh, nice mess. All right. Just keep it in the bucket. There it goes. Oof. Yep, made a mess. Did you catch that? All right, we should clean this up. Did you catch that? Nope. All right, let me clean this up real quick. There you go. How's that for a mess? Everywhere. On the floor. All right, let me get something to wash a little bit, or clean a little bit here. Oh, there's the rags. Something told me too that it's going to squirt everywhere. And throw it in the bucket. I forgot it has one on one cylinder and one on the other cylinder, or one on the in way and one on the out way. There's the aftermath. Now let's put this over here. Very thin little washers. Alright, let's throw that down there. The pin actually looks really good. I'm actually shocked. I'm very happy about that. I was very scared about that. Now hopefully it fits in the other one, because I think this is possibly a little bit bigger than 1 inch. What I can also do is paint that. Alright, that's one over there. That one over there, yep. That one just a bunch of junk. A couple little washers and shims. Okay. Alright, you know what, let me do a little bit of cleaning up. I made a little bit of a mess there. I made a mess in the bucket. I made a mess on the floor. I made a mess everywhere. Alright, let me bring you back. I even got some on the camera and stuff. I figured while I had it off, I figured I might as well clean everything up and paint it. So I just gave it a quick, you know, the rattle can, just to make it match the rest of it a little bit. So yeah, so back to where I was at. I kind of cleaned everything off, still a little bit, but not too bad. I mean, got everything pretty much out of there. It's gonna do nothing but keep the bucket from rusting, I imagine. Yeah, there's the old cylinder. All right. Like I said, this is the first time. I should have known that it was going to come out, and I should have watched some other videos before I decided to. Anyway, all right. Where's I at here? Yeah. So anyway, so this is the difference I have. Do it this way. All right. So this is the old cylinder. Oh, look at the overspray. Anyway, I'm sorry, I have my fan on just to get rid of some of this, some of the overspray or whatever it is. What was I going to say? I just lost my train of thought. Anyway, so that's the old cylinder. Over here is the new cylinder, and I am pleasantly surprised to realize that the pin fits really nice and perfect in both ends. Actually, the other pins here. Same with this one. This one's in pretty good condition. Really no issues with it. Not like the other ones I had. It's all, you know, it feels pretty good. There's no rough spots. I think that might have been, that just looks a little weird, but I can't really feel anything around it. It just looks a little weird. But same thing with this one. Should fit in there real nice, and it does. Really nice. Alright. Yeah, fits in there really nice. So I think I'm going to let the paint dry. I think I'll do this tomorrow. It's Sunday now. And yeah, I'm going to take it a little easy today. I've been working pretty hard on this thing. it's definitely getting there. The next thing I got to do is change the fluids, change the, I have a brand new filter for that. So yeah, that would be the next couple things to do. I was going to maybe paint that black. I don't even know if I'm worried about it really. But yeah, everything's real nice. Everything's working great. So far, so good. Yeah, so. All right, I'm going to probably, you know what I'll do? I'll just continue this video tomorrow, so I won't put this out yet. I'll get to tomorrow. We'll go back to the lathe, and since my pins are actually okay, well, you know, we can go to the lathe. Yeah, might as well go to the lathe, right? Let's see, since we know our pins are good, then I can actually take out one of the pins. This is the bottom one. Just take this pin out of here. Maybe I'll drop and everything. This one's heavier than the other one. All right. I'll take that out of there. And what I'll do is, yeah, like I said, it feels real smooth. I'll put it on the wheel. I'll clean it up a little bit, and then we'll go meet at the lathe. So stay tuned. All right, so here you are back at the lathe. This is the number of the pin. So I think it was the inside diameter was, well, they're saying like 1 inch, but I would think it was the same thing. It was almost like 99.05. It was like right close to that. So, and I got right here, I started boring this out. I'm at 89.90. So I just want to get to like 99, I guess. I'm about 89.90. Yeah. And I can see by, obviously the pin's gonna not fit. So I polished it up a little bit to get a little shinier, but yeah, so that's what we're looking at. So close, just no cigar. You can probably see a little better this way. There's the hole right there. So all right, I did put some Dicom on it, so this way I can get an idea what I'm doing. So to be honest with you, I don't even know the RPMs or speed. I just kind of go by like moving the belt in the second position. I don't even know what that is, which one that is, but yeah. All right, it's going to be a little noisy. Obviously, I'm going to have to touch off. Make sure I got that right, because I could probably do it in 2 passes. Yeah, let's go for that one. All right. see what we got. Mm-hmm. 9,500. All right, so we're going to go, I'm going backwards. I've got my DRO, where's my DRO right there. So I'm going to go by them numbers, see if they work out for me. Not a machinist. Try to play one on TV. Alright, so we're going to go down. Is that on inches or millimeters? Okay, there we go. There's the inch. I was wondering what's going on here. Okay. Well, that should be centered off. Let's go back 100. I gotta go backwards. Alright. Let's try this again. Trying to get you in a good position here. No matter where I put you. $98.45, 99. Let's see what we got here. I know everybody says the same thing. Do not blow into your headset, but I usually go the other way. I'll clean it anyway. All right. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. I think I'll do a spring pass. It's very, very tight. I mean, it's there. I don't want it that tight. All right, let me go back to 0 again. Yeah. All right, let's go. We'll do that. That's about 0. 0.1. That should just be basically a spring pass. Then I'll chamfer the edges. just a hair off in the middle. Just trying to take off 0.7. You can't see it, but it might have looked like it was going to hit, but if you can see, I'm very, very close there, so didn't need any more stick out than already had, so alright. I still think I may have to go a little bit more, but let's see what this gives me. I didn't really notice I did anything. Yeah, it didn't really feel like I was doing anything. I mean, it's going through, but I don't want to force it like that. So, alright, let's go in a little bit more. I gotta go back. I'm gonna go back maybe 10 thousandths. That should be good. Wait a second here. What am I doing here? That's that way, yeah. Made a mistake. Alright, let's go back. Let's try, it's really like a dusting. Nice and smooth in there. I don't know. Do I want it that tight? Should it be that tight? I mean, it's going in there. Yeah, it's really tight. It's a tight fit. I mean, I guess it's just I could probably polish it a little bit. I probably want it as close as possible. As you can see, it's coming out. Or try to show you if it's Yeah, I mean, it's coming through, as you can see. Just a little on the tight side, but you know what? I think I'm going to leave that. I don't want to go any more because I don't want it really loose. As long as it fits all the way in there. Yeah. See? And this is going to be on the inside anyway, so I like that. Alright. Let's chamfer the edge. There we go. I think I gotta usually have to bring this one up because I use it for a couple different. You know what? That should be about right. Let's see if that's gonna. I think I gotta bring it up a little bit to. That should be good. All right. So you know, whenever you're putting anything into, well, I know I am. I'm very, very careful. I'm very aware of my surroundings. Obviously, safety, glasses, everything else is a must. You know, just to be on the safe side. It's not worth having a little accident. All right. It's not really hot either. I thought it might expand a little bit because of the heat, but let's see where we're at here. And again, I can probably polish the piece up a little bit more, but yeah, that fits a lot better. There you go. That's weird. Just that chamfer in the end helps it so much. All right, I like that. Nothing like I got nothing. Yeah, it fits. It's nice, nice. All right. So now I want to come down. That was 99.05. I want to go down to 2.6. Yeah, that was my numbers. I had the 99.05, and this is 2.6280 is the outside. If I want to keep it matching the other one, and that at the 2.6, I'm at this one right now is 2.9. Actually, yeah, 2.9 it looks like. I don't have any kind of a. It's the only thing I had to measure this. I don't have anything else big enough. All right. Yeah, 297. So, all right, let's turn it down. And again, this is only cosmetic. This is not. This is just so it'll match the other one. All right, let's back this up a little bit. Let's change our tip here. I like these cheapy little inserts. They're little. I don't know if they're carbide or just you know, just plain steel. I'm not sure, but I like them. This is the one I use for the turning this. This is a 4140. So a little bottle there. Turns really nice with this stuff. Again, I'm not really good with my speeds and feeds and everything else. But just kind of play it by ear. All right. Did the same thing, touch off. In fact, you know what? I thought I had faced this, but I think when I faced it, I had put stuff on it just to be able to see it again. So let's face it again. That's why I had it different way. Wrong way. All right. That didn't engage. There it goes. This is for this part. I'm gonna have to chamfer it again, but yeah, it comes out such a nice finish with these tools. It makes it so nice. It's just easy. You don't have to worry about trying to, you know. I'm still new at this stuff. Like little off right there, but I'll have to chamfer the edges again. But yeah, I remember when I first started, I was watching like Mr. Peter, Joe Pyzinski, one of those guys, and you know, there's so many of them that are amazing. And I seen this right here. This is my first ever nut I made. Now, I never redid it just because it just shows my beginning skills. I put this in the lathe too. I think I had a mini lathe that time. Now I have a bigger Wells Index instead of the. I have a bridged port too, but this was in the beginning, and this is when I first started, and you know, so you learn as you go along. One day, when I feel confident that I really gained a lot, I'll fix this. But until that time, I leave this as just a reminder that, you know, everybody's a beginner at one time, right? And I've only started doing this like maybe like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I think I had got this lathe inside. So I haven't really been doing that much, but I am like a little disabled. So I got to find things to do, and this is what I do. So try to keep myself busy. All right, so I'm going to have to chamfer them again. Actually, I'm going to bring that in a little more only because I don't like the edges there. So I'm going to do this a little more. All right, I'll bring you back in a minute here. A lot of times I'll lock my carriage when I'm doing things like that, so it doesn't call me out on me. All right. I didn't lose that chamfer too bad. Still there. I can make it a little more pronounced if I want to, but still good. Now, you know what I noticed? It's getting a little warm. Not hot, just a little warm. And see how easily that slides in and out now? So I don't want to touch it. I want to let it cool down a little bit. Alright. Yeah, I'm definitely going to let it cool down a lot. Dirt. But, alright. Let me bring you back again. Okay, so I mounted the cylinder just real quick. I just laid it in there on the top pin, and when I there's a space in between there. Obviously, I knew about this. Now these were the thin washers that were there before. They were just on each side of the other cylinder, I guess, keeping up the space. So what I did was I went over here. I put the cylinder obviously to one side, and then I got this piece right here, and that's what's left. And what I did was I took a gauge block kit, and I pulled out one of the gauge blocks. And what I actually need is a, I don't know if you can read, let me see if I can get this so you can read this or not. If you can see that. Let me try to go back. Probably gonna be hard for you to read. Now, let me see if I can get some more light on in here. Not sure if that's going to help any, but anyway, this is what I'm looking at. Probably not going to be able to see that at all. Maybe a little bit. $4.50. There we go. So this was the exact piece that fit in there between, with the space in there between that and my washers here I have. So if I would put this in here, it would be perfect, the 500, or I'm sorry, the 450. It's 450, and then obviously it left me space for the two washers. So what I want to do is I want to make two 225s, I guess. I want to separate in between the cylinder. So on the top part, I'm going to be looking at two 25s. Now I do, what was I going to say? I didn't measure the bottom one yet. I do have these too, but this would probably, I could probably even turn this piece down a little bit. I do have this little, you know, these washers. I just don't know what material this is. This came with the tires from like a lawn tractor or something else. These are like the sleeves they give you that if you want to change out the bore of the wheel. So these are 1 inch completely. And but again, I don't even know what material that is. I do have some 4140 that I'll use to make the space in between. You see me doing that before, so let's go back to the lathe and see if we can try to mark this and see if we can get this right. Alright, so here we are back at the lathe again. What I wanted to show you was if you take this caliber, zero it out, you'll probably be able to see a little better here. Maybe, maybe not. 450, take this, 450. So what I want to do is go down 25, 250. I'm 225. I'm sorry. I hope I don't screw this up. 225. I'm going to go down. All right. So, oh, you know what? I gotta still. I wanted to still turn this down a little bit. Where was I going? What was I down to? That's right. It was so hot. Dog's barking something. That's right. It was so hot that I didn't have the right measurement. And it was funny because the pin was so loose in there. I couldn't believe how much the heat controlled it. But anyway, that's 287.55. And we were supposed to be 260. So let me turn that down first. Not that it really matters. I mean, again, the space doesn't matter. The outside circumference, it's not critical. The 225 would be critical. .2250. Okay. All right. And to make it even easier, yep. I don't want to. You know what? I'm going to delete this one. Okay, so as I showed before, this was the oh man, the 450, and then I grabbed a couple of gauge blocks, put them together, and then I got my 225. I do have to turn the outside down first. Again, it's only cosmetic, but I would rather have it. I'm going to probably use this for the bottom spacers too, so I want to keep everything the same size, and I want to kind of make it symmetrical to the other ones. In fact, I even think that I could even make them a little smaller. Because yeah, I could really go 150 if I wanted to be symmetrical with the bottom ones, but again, it really doesn't matter. This is not a critical um, measurement, but at the same time, I still am gonna, I don't want this big clopping thing sitting there. So let's get this thing going. Let me get my this real quick. Let me get my other things right here. Not sure if this is really interesting or not. I'm sure you've seen this a million times. I think it's a nice big touch on that one. Great. Alright, so by looking at these chips, this is getting pretty hot. As you can see the color of the chips? It's getting like a toast color. This is what it started cutting, nice and you know, nice. And then it started cutting like this. I started noticing my tip getting a little red. Get some of this out of here. So I imagine it's either dull or getting close to it. And I've been doing some heavy turning with it, so sure it's a little on the warm side. Yeah, it's pretty warm. So once again, I'm going to have to let it cool down. What I'll do is I'll bring you back when I'm at the full side and I go to cut my 225. So stay tuned.